Hello dear students, myself CMA Padmaja Buzruk. Today we will be discussing about presentation of financial statements. Go to study note number 2, presentation of financial statements as per Schedule 3 of Companies Act 2030. Form of balance sheet and profit and loss account we'll see today. Meaning and objectives of financial statement. Financial statements are compilation of financial data collected and classified in a systematic manner according to the accounting principles to assess the financial position of an enterprise as regards to its profitability, operational efficiency, long and short term solvency, and growth potential. Profit and loss account and balance sheet are two important financial statements. Cash flow is also part of the financial statements. Financial statements are prepared for understanding the profitability, financial position, short term as well as long term, solvency and liquidity position of the enterprise. Objectives of financial statement is to provide information about financial position, performance and cash flow of an enterprise that is useful to wide range of users in making economic decisions. These users of financial statements are known as stakeholders. They are debtors, creditors, money lenders, that is banks and financial institutions, government organization, employees, shareholders, prospective investors, etc. etc. All of them are interested in financial statements, so providing them information about companies' financial position, profitability, that is performance, and cash flow is the main objective of financial statements. Components of financial statements: income statement, that is profit and loss account, balance sheet, and cash flow statement are the three important components of financial statements. As per Schedule 3, financial statements are of two parts. First part is form of balance sheet and second part is form of statement of profit and loss. Balance sheet, equity and liabilities and assets. You are supposed to prepare balance sheet and profit and loss account in vertical format as per Schedule 3. Balance sheet is made up of two parts, equity and liabilities and assets. Equity and liabilities again is classified in four parts: shareholders funds, share application money pending allotment, non-current liabilities and current liabilities. Assets are classified into two parts, non-current assets and current assets. This classification is very important. While preparing balance sheet, you should write all these main heads: equity and liabilities, below that four subheads: shareholders funds, share application money pending allotment, non-current liabilities, current liabilities. Assets, two subheads: non-current assets and current assets. Equity and liabilities, four subheads. First is shareholders funds, below that share capital, reserves and surplus, and last one is money received against share warrants. Second, share application money pending allotment. Third is non-current liabilities, below that long-term borrowings, deferred tax liabilities, other long-term liabilities, and last is long-term provisions. And fourth and last subhead is current liabilities. Again, below current liabilities, there are four again classifications subheads. First is short-term borrowings, trade payables, other current liabilities, and last one is short-term provisions. If you compare these non-current liabilities and current liabilities, first is long-term borrowings and short-term borrowings. Third is other long-term liabilities, other current liabilities. Last one is long-term provisions, short-term provisions. So it is very easy to remember. Only second one is deferred tax liabilities in case of non-current liabilities and trade payables in case of current liabilities. So you should remember all these heads and subheads which you are supposed to write while preparing balance sheet. Assets. There are two subheads for the assets, non-current assets and current assets. Under non-current assets, there are again five subheads: fixed assets, non-current investments, deferred tax assets, long-term loans and advances, other non-current assets. Under current assets, there are six subheads: current investments, inventories, trade receivables, cash and cash equivalent, short-term loans and advances, and last one is other current assets. Now we'll see form of profit and loss account. Part 2 is form of statement of profit and loss account, name of the company, profit and loss statement for the year ended so and so, rupees in. This is very important. Rupees in thousands, rupees in lakhs, rupees in crores, whatever you are converting rupees for your convenience, it is essential to quote it here in the corner. Roman 1, revenue from operations. Note number, you are supposed to give note number. Figures for the current reporting period and figures for the previous reporting period. Current year's figures and last year's figures, these two amount columns you are supposed to prepare. Mostly previous year's figures you won't have, but still you are supposed to prepare the column. Revenue from operations, mostly this is sales. Roman 1, note you are supposed to prepare. Roman 2, other income. Roman 3, total revenue 1 plus 2. Then fourth is expenses, cost of material consumed. Cost of material consumed is nothing but opening stock plus purchases minus closing stock. Purchase of stock in trade, change in inventories of finished goods, work in progress and stock in trade, that is change in inventories of raw material, work in progress and finished goods, nothing but opening minus closing. If you are writing cost of material consumed against the first one, then you need not use the second and third one. If you have written cost of material consumed as opening stock plus purchases minus closing stock, then you need not write again purchases and opening minus closing stock here. But in this case, if you can write here difference in opening and closing stock of finished goods and work in progress only. Next is employee benefit expenses, finance cost, depreciation and amortization expenses, and last one is other expenses, total of the expenses, all expenses given under Roman 4, total of the expenses. Roman 5, profit before exceptional and extraordinary items and tax. 3 minus 4, that is total revenue minus total expenses, is profit before exceptional and extraordinary items and profit before tax. Next, sixth point is exceptional items. Then seventh is profit before extraordinary item and tax. Then you will have extraordinary items, then profit before tax. Then you are supposed to mention tax expenses, current tax and deferred tax. Then you will get the figure profit for the period from continuing operations after deducting tax from profit before tax. Profit and loss from discontinuing operations you have to quote. Tax expenses for discontinuing operations. Then you will get profit or loss from discontinuing operations after tax. Then you will get profit and loss for the period, that is nothing but profit from continuing operation plus profit from discontinuing operations. Earning per equity share, you have to write both basic as well as diluted earning per share. General instructions for preparation of statement of profit and loss, section 25 companies. The provision of this part shall apply to income and expenditure account referred to in section 129 of the Act in like manner as they apply to statement of profit and loss. Now we'll see what is the meaning of section 25 companies. Section 25 company is a company registered under section 25 of Companies Act 1956. This is for charity without creating a trust or society. Company must reinvest all income towards promoting charity. No money gets out of section 25 company and dividend is not paid for section 25 companies. Section 25 companies are non-profit making companies, so they do not prepare profit and loss account. But these rules are applicable for them in preparation of income and expenditure account. Revenue from operations, just now we have seen in statement of profit and loss account. First one is revenue from operations, that is sales. You are supposed to prepare a separate note for this. For company other than finance company, revenue from operations shall disclose separately in note. Revenue from sale of product, sale of services, other operating revenues less excise duties. For finance company, revenue from operation shall include revenue from interest and other financial services. Revenue under each of above heads shall be disclosed separately by way of note to accounts to the extent applicable. Finance cost. Now revenue from operations. After that you have other income. Then total of these two is 3. Fourth is expenditure. In that you have finance cost. Finance cost shall be classified as interest expenses, other borrowing cost, applicable net gain or loss on foreign currency transactions and translation. Other income. First is revenue from operations. Second is other income. Other income shall be classified as interest income in case of other than finance companies. Why? Because for finance companies, interest income will be considered as revenue from operations. Dividend income, net gain or loss on sale of investment, other non-operating income, net of expenses directly attributable to such income. Additional information, a company shall disclose by way of notes additional information regarding aggregate expenditure and income on the following terms. The following items are given. On that, it is necessary to give additional information. Employee benefit expenses, income items, etc. Employee benefit expenses showing separately salaries and wages, contribution to provident fund and other funds, expenses on employee stock option plan and employee stock purchase plan, staff welfare expenses, depreciation and amortization expenses, any item of income or expenditure which exceeds 1% of revenue from operation or 1 lakh, whichever is higher. This is very important, whether it is income or expenditure. If it exceeds 1% of revenue from operation or 1 lakh, compare these both, whichever is higher, it is to be shown as a separate line item. Interest income, interest expenditure, dividend income, net gain or loss on sale of investment, adjustment to the carrying amount of investment, net gain or loss on foreign currency transaction and translation other than considered as finance cost, payment to auditor as auditor for taxation matters, for company law matters, for management services, for other services, for reimbursement of expenses, item of exceptional and extraordinary nature, prior period items. Material, goods, services, etc. In case of all concerns having work in progress under broad heads, reserve, creation and utilization, provision, creation and utilization, Expenses. Expenditure incurred on each of the following items separately for each item. Consumption of stores and spare parts, power and fuel, rent, repairs to building, repairs to machinery, insurance, rates and taxes, excluding tax on income, miscellaneous expenses, subsidiaries information, dividend from subsidiary company, provision for loss of subsidiary company, forex information, that is foreign exchange transactions information, if any raw material has been purchased or any finished goods have been sold in foreign countries in foreign currency, it is to be given by way of note. Broad heads shall be decided taking into account the concept of materiality and presentation of true and fair view of financial statements. Now we'll see part 1 is form of balance sheet, part 2 is profit and loss, and part 1 is balance sheet. Name of the company, balance sheet as at rupees in lakhs, thousands, crores. Particulars, note number, figures as at the end of current year and figures as at the end of previous year. We have seen Roman 1 equity and liabilities, Roman 2 assets. Equity and liability and assets, these are two main heads. Below equity and liabilities, four subheads: shareholders funds, share application money pending allotment, non-current liabilities and current liabilities. Assets, there are two subheads: non-current assets and current assets. So you should by heart this format. Equity and liabilities, first one shareholders funds, below that three subheads: share capital, reserves and surplus, money received against share warrants. Second subhead, share application money pending allotment. Third subhead, non-current liabilities, below that long-term borrowings, deferred tax liability, other long-term liabilities, long-term provisions, current liabilities, below that short-term borrowings, trade payables, other current liabilities and short-term provisions. Now total of all this will be your total of equity and liabilities. Assets, first one is non-current assets. Under non-current assets, first one is fixed assets. Below fixed assets, again you are having four sub assets. These are tangible assets, intangible assets, capital work in progress, intangible asset under development. Second one under non-current assets is non-current investments, then deferred tax assets, long-term loans and advances, other non-current assets. Then under assets, second one is current assets. Below current assets, current investments, inventories, trade receivables, cash and cash equivalent, short-term loans and advances, other current assets. Total of non-current assets and current assets. Now this total of assets should be equal to total of equity and liabilities. This is vertical format of balance sheet. In this particular video, we have seen what is the meaning and objectives of financial statements, what are various components of financial statements, and form of balance sheet and profit and loss account as per Schedule 3 of Companies Act 2013. Thank you.